So I need to close up this gap, so I put a self tapper in there, and I'm going to use a it's like a clip screwdriver type thing, but basically it's going to go on there and I'll be able to use it to kind of pry this out and get it closer. Yeah, this guy right here, can't remember the name of it, but it's for like little plastic clips. You like pull up on them, you can remove them, like with plastic rivets, or I don't know what they're called, to be honest. Alright, now that's all dry, we can move on to our little reinforcement plate. So this goes all the way up to here. We'll have to kind of bend this down some. Actually, I think right there is where it goes. Done with this one, so now we're gonna move on to this. So I got two pieces. We're gonna start with this side, and then we'll make another piece to go right here. Basically, the way, or the reason why I did that was originally I wasn't gonna cut this out, but this bracket was really bad, so I had to make a new piece. So coming back to here, this has to be perfectly aligned, and it was just kind of a difficult piece to make in general. And to add another, I don't know, 8 inches or so onto it, it was easier to do in two pieces. So we'll do this side and that side. So here's my bracket that I made, and this is gonna go inside. We still gotta trim some of these spots up here, and then we'll have another piece that'll go on top of this. That is perfect. So again, just to explain what I'm doing, I'm making this gap bigger so I get good penetration. You want, basically if you have like two pieces of metal and they're like butted together and you weld right on top of that, it can't soak through unless you were to like really get it hot. But with this stuff, you can't get it too hot or it just blows through. It's thin sheet metal. We're talking 50, 70 thousandths, you know, somewhere around there. And so what we do is we cut a slice and kind of open up a gap, so when we do weld, it'll just go in between those two pieces. Alright, so we're making some progress. We got that done. Those two plates are in. This is in. Now we just need to figure out how I'm gonna go about welding this. Okay, so this side I'm gonna have to redo. I'm not happy with the gap. Didn't cut this very straight, so it kind of tapers off, so I want to make this plate the same, just a little bit longer. All right, so this is what I'm working with. I got one line at the top, which is 0.6. That is going to be our lip. We'll fold this plate over. Divided that by 2, got 0.3, so it's halfway in between this lip and the line. And then I divided that by 2 and made a line down this way. That'll give us our center hole. And then I divided that by 2, left and right side of it, so we'll get 3 evenly placed holes. And then the sides will get welded onto the lips of what's already on the car. Okay, got this finished. Everything's cleaned up. I did have to grind down the top just a little bit to get it to fit right. The rail seemed like it's kind of tapered, so I had to cut a little more down on this side than I did this side. Not bad though, just kind of went over it a couple times and it fit up pretty good. So now we're gonna put some primer on this back side and get it coated with some type of paint to stop it from rusting. Okay, so before I weld this plate on, these other 2 plates that I welded on, I want to coat the back sides of the weld so they don't rust. So we got a little access hole right here. I'm just going to stick this in here and spray this whole thing out. Alright, time to make this new piece. I'm going to mark basically all the way around this. I'm not going to do the back side. I'll do both sides, left and right. And then we'll mark these 2 bolt holes, along with everything being lined up with this panel in the front too. And we can take this off. So I got that open just enough. Okay, so both measurements from here and then this way, from the lowest point of the frame rail to the top where we're going to weld to is 2.5 inches, plus this, which is 1 3/8 inches. So we're at 3 7/8 inches. I'm going to add a little bit more, so I'm going to do 4 inches. So I'm going to cut up 4 inches, and then we'll have like a small little box that we can start working with. We can clamp this together, and then we're also going to cut both left and right sides so we can kind of flip this up without moving absolutely everything. And then we can start forming it. Alright, now I'm just using this bolt, same diameter, just to line everything back up. Everything's lined up. Alright, heat this up a little bit. Alright, so as for our basic profile, all I need to do is just cut and trim this and make sure that this is flat all the way across. And that's it. I'm going to test fit it, and then before I weld this up, I'm going to make sure I get my measurement correct, and then we'll trim off the edge or whatever edge we need to. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up as close as I can with the bolt holes, since I can't go all the way in since it's too long. I need to get it as close as I can, which that looks pretty good right there. And then where that tab is at, I'm going to mark both sides and just cut up. Got both left and right sides trimmed, our holes line up. Next thing we need to do is figure out this gap right here and make a mark on the plate. You can see this is kind of like at an angle. This is cut nice and straight. but it's a little bit lower over here and a little bit higher over here, so we'll trim it all the way across. Okay, so I'm about to weld this in place. There is a little bit of an excessive gap over here. It's alright, we can fill that. That was just because it was not cut straight. It's a little bit off on the top. No big deal. So this is as far down as it'll go. I got it clamped in place right now. So I'm actually probably going to tack it somewhere up here, over here, and then I'll take a air saw and go and just open up that gap, make it a little bit bigger. I like the gap over here, and this gap looks pretty good too on this side for the most part until you get up to this corner. But it's alright. And then we got 3 holes. We'll add that to this flange. Alright, so we got 2 plates in. We got the 2 plates here and 1 plate here. So we got the sheet metal on the backside, reinforcement plate. Same with this, another reinforcement for the cross member. And then we got this patch panel that we put in. So I'm going to throw this on it just to cover it while I work on something else on the car. I'm not really ready to paint this area yet, so I don't want it to just sit here and start to rust. Okay, so finally finished. So we treated the inside rails and got all the rust out that we could, and then we patched that panel over here and put that reinforcement plate on, and then same with the cross member. So we made the plate behind it, and then this cross member brace we got from Classic Fab, and they do not sell them individually. You actually have to contact them to purchase it, and believe it or not, they actually charged me just for shipping on this part. I actually doubled the shipping just to compensate them, because without them I wouldn't be able to build this car. I mean, we got majority of their panels on. We're using their quarter panels, the rockers, the floors, so definitely props to them. They're doing great things for us, and whoever wants to build a car like this. So yeah, pretty good. Then we got our patch panel on the front that we fixed, and then also that bracket on the back side that the sway bar attaches to. So yeah, I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm only gonna show this side. I'm not gonna do the other side. There was more work over here, so I figured we'd jump over here. So sorry for starting the video on the other side and then ending over here. It's basically exactly the same, except we have that extra patch panel. All right, thanks for watching.